Welcome to Discover Top 5. If you love uncovering shocking facts, ranking the best and worst, and diving into the most intriguing global topics, you're in the right place. Today, we're tackling a surprising reality that most Canadians don't think about. There are actually countries out there where your Canadian passport won't get you a warm welcome. That's right. Despite Canada's friendly reputation, love for hockey, and peacekeeping history, some nations have serious restrictions, risks, or outright hostility toward Canadian travelers. Whether it's due to political tensions, security threats, or strict visa rules, these countries are places where Canadians are either unwelcome or strongly discouraged from visiting in 2025. Some may allow entry but with major complications, while others could put you in serious danger just for showing up. So before you book that next international trip, you might want to pay close attention because getting stuck in the wrong country at the wrong time could turn into a nightmare. From war-torn zones and unstable governments to places with extreme laws that could land you in serious trouble, we're counting down the top 10 countries where Canadians are least welcome in 2025. Make sure to watch till the end, because some of these destinations might shock you. And if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Discover Top 5, and turn on notifications so you never miss an eye-opening ranking.
Ever wondered what it's like to visit a country where the word dangerous doesn't even begin to cover it? Welcome to Somalia. While its coastline along the Indian Ocean is breathtaking, the reality on the ground is anything but inviting. Somalia ranks at the bottom of the Global Peace Index, meaning it is one of the most dangerous places on Earth. The country has been in turmoil for decades due to ongoing conflicts between the government, warlords, and extremist groups like Al-Shabaab. These groups frequently target foreigners for ransom, and with no Canadian embassy in Somalia, consular assistance is almost impossible. Even if you manage to navigate through Mogadishu's chaotic streets safely, getting access to basic necessities like healthcare or banking services is a major challenge. The Canadian government strongly advises against all non-essential travel here, and honestly, there are much safer places to visit in Africa. Russia and Canada have always had a complicated relationship, but in 2025, it's worse than ever. Following Canada's strong stance against Russia's actions in Ukraine, diplomatic tensions are at an all-time high. Russia has imposed retaliatory measures against Canadian travelers, making visa approvals incredibly difficult. Even if you do manage to enter, the risks don't stop there. Canada warns its citizens about the possibility of arbitrary detention, especially for those with dual citizenship. If you get into trouble in Russia, help from the Canadian embassy in Moscow may be very limited. Beyond political concerns, Russia's security situation remains unstable, with ongoing cyber threats, surveillance concerns, and unpredictable law enforcement. Unless you have a very good reason to go, it's best to sit this one out. South Sudan is the world's youngest country, having gained independence from Sudan in 2011. Unfortunately, it has been plagued by civil conflict almost ever since. Political instability, ethnic violence, and a crumbling economy make this one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Militias and government forces frequently clash, leading to unpredictable outbreaks of violence. Kidnappings, carjackings, and targeted attacks against foreigners are common. And with over 60% of the population requiring emergency humanitarian aid, the situation is dire. Canada has no official embassy here, meaning that if something goes wrong, your chances of getting help are slim. The travel advisories are crystal clear. Do not go to South Sudan under any circumstances. Iran boasts a rich cultural heritage, but in 2025, it's not the safest place for Canadian travelers. Diplomatic tensions between Canada and Iran remain high, particularly due to past incidents involving detained dual citizens. Iran does not recognize dual nationality, meaning that if you hold both Iranian and Canadian citizenship, the Canadian government might not be able to help you at all. Even if you're just visiting as a tourist, the risk of arbitrary detention is very real. Travelers have been arrested on vague charges of espionage or anti-government activities. Additionally, Iran's strict regulations on dress codes, public behavior, and internet access can make travel tricky. If you're looking for Middle Eastern destinations, there are much safer alternatives than Iran in 2025. Yemen has been in the grips of a brutal civil war for years, and the situation is far from improving. With over 80% of the population requiring humanitarian aid and infrastructure in shambles, the country is one of the most dangerous places on the planet. Foreigners, especially Westerners, are often targeted for kidnappings, ransom, or political leverage. The presence of militant groups makes travel nearly impossible, and the Canadian government has no operational embassy here. There's absolutely no reason for Canadians to visit Yemen right now unless they're involved in humanitarian efforts, and even then, extreme caution is required. North Korea remains one of the most isolated and heavily controlled countries in the world. Travelers must follow strict government-mandated itineraries, and even a minor mistake like taking a photo of the wrong thing could land you in serious trouble. Canadian travelers have been detained in North Korea before, sometimes for years, with little to no diplomatic support available. Given the rising geopolitical tensions and North Korea's unpredictable leadership, Canada strongly advises against all travel here. Simply put, North Korea is not worth the risk in 2025. Libya has been in a state of unrest since the fall of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. Various armed factions control different parts of the country, making it one of the most unpredictable and lawless places in the world. For Canadians, the risks of kidnapping, violence, and terrorism are extremely high. The country's infrastructure is failing, with little to no healthcare, electricity, or functioning government institutions. Even basic travel logistics like flights and road safety are unreliable. Unless Libya stabilizes, which isn't likely anytime soon, it remains a no-go for Canadian travelers. The ongoing war with Russia has left Ukraine in a dire situation. While parts of the country remain relatively stable, missile strikes, active combat zones, and infrastructure destruction make travel here incredibly risky. Even for humanitarian workers, the security risks are extreme. Canadians are strongly advised to avoid travel to Ukraine until the conflict stabilizes. Belarus has become one of the most isolated countries in Europe due to its authoritarian regime and close alliance with Russia. Foreigners risk arbitrary detention, and political crackdowns are severe. Canada has issued strong travel warnings, and there's little diplomatic support available. Simply put, visiting Belarus as a Canadian in 2025 is not a good idea. Syria remains one of the most dangerous countries in the world. A decade of war has left much of the country in ruins, and ongoing conflict means that kidnappings, bombings, and military strikes are still common. With no Canadian embassy and extreme security risks, Syria tops the list as the least welcoming country for Canadians in 2025.
And that's a wrap on our list of the 10 countries where Canadians are least welcome in 2025. As we've discovered, even the most adventurous among us need to be cautious about where we're headed, especially when political tensions, safety concerns, and unstable situations are in play. With so much of the world constantly changing, it's crucial to stay informed and make sure your travel plans don't lead you into danger. Now, I know some of these destinations may be surprising or even eye-opening for many of you, whether it's the complex political climates or the ongoing conflicts. These countries highlight the importance of doing your research before booking that flight. While Canada's passport is often seen as a golden ticket, it's vital to remember that not every destination is a safe or welcoming one, especially in these unpredictable times. But don't be discouraged. There are still countless amazing places to explore where you'll be welcomed with open arms and where safety isn't as much of a concern. So, if you're looking for travel inspiration or tips on places that are a little less risky, I've got you covered with more videos. So be sure to stick around and hit that subscribe button. I want to hear from you. Are there any other countries you think should be on this list? Or have you had experiences in any of these places? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading your stories and interacting with all of you. Plus, if you have any questions about safe travel destinations or tips, I'm always here to help. And if you found this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with friends who might find it interesting, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on future top 5 or top 10 rankings. Thanks again for watching, and remember, travel with caution, respect, and always stay informed. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.